Okay, here we go with part 2 of the VEX IQ sensors. If you haven't looked at part 1 yet, you'll want to go back and watch that. We are about 51% done, and so let's go ahead and take a look at what we have left to do. So you're going to want to go to CS2N and go to, you should already have the track selected. So let's see where we left off. Robot configuration. So we did introduction with gyro sensor. If you haven't watched that video, you might want to watch that video now. It's just 1 minute and 49 seconds, and then see if you can answer those questions. So again, you might just want to pause me, watch that video, and get going. Okay, I'm going to click next. And looks like we again have this robot configuration page, and that really is just showing us the claw. We're going to use the Clawbot IQ, and here are the PDF if you want to build it physically. All right, I'm going to click next. Okay, turn for angle part 1. 2 minute and 56 minute video, so a 3-minute video. You'll want to watch that so that you have a good foundation of what we're going to be doing. It looks like this one is called turn for angle. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Robot C graphical. Make sure that you open the graphical one. All right, and again, if you can't find that link for the graphical one, if you just push the Windows button or click Start and then start typing GRAPA, then you should see graphical Robot C for VEX. All right, so here is graphical. I'm going to click new file. Make sure I go under robot, compiler, target, change that to virtual worlds because I'm not using a physical robot. Click download to robot and let's save it. Let's save it as Johnston Sensors 2. This is part 2. Let's say save, and then we should get the virtual worlds opening. Here's the challenge pack. Remember to sign in using the exact same sign-in credentials you used for the website. That way they link together and you get credit for the stuff that you do. So we're under sensors, and let's see. We did the maze. So here's turn for angle part 1. It says use this practice table to follow along with the turn for angle programming lesson. And then there looks like there's an achievement. Made a robot turn about 90 degrees in the turn for angle part 1 programming lesson. So you'll notice there's different points you can start at. So that's something to take note of in the future. We're going to start at point A, which is right in the center of that. So we'll click Start Challenge. Now I'm going to go back to the website, and I'm going to take a look to see what it is that we're doing. It looks like we're going to reset the gyro, which is very important because we don't know when we set the robot down or we move it around. We want that gyro to set to 0 from wherever it is at that moment in time. Then it looks like we're turning the motors on in opposite directions so that the robot will turn. Then we're waiting until the degrees are greater than 90, and then we're going to stop multiple motors, or we can use the stop all motors command. So let's do that real quick. So the very first thing is we're going to look for the gyro commands. Here we go, timing, tracking, display, and here we go. There's only one, reset gyro. There we go. And there's only one gyro. It's called gyro sensor. And see, they're already named, so you don't have to select the port that it's on. So it's named, so you just select gyro sensor. All right, then we're going to make our robot turn, but instead of using those turn left, turn right, because those are set amounts, we want to turn the motor on. Here, let's do right motor and set motor. We'll do left motor. And we have to run one of the motors backwards, otherwise the robot's just going to go forward. If you have both motors running at full 50% power going forward, well, then they're going to go forward. So you have one motor going forward and one motor going backward, which is going to cause the robot to turn. All right, and then we're going to leave those motors running until the robot has done something. We've got wait until we get the gyro sensor information in degrees, and we don't want to use is equal to, because sometimes that gyro might send information and it might skip right over the number that you're looking for. So if we did 90, sometimes the gyro might send information so fast that it might not ever reach 90. It might be 89, 91. And so since it never equaled 90, then it would never stop. It would never reach this wait until. So we're going to say greater than, and now we want it to hit 90. So I'm going to put 85 because the robot's going to have a little bit of momentum, meaning that by the time the motors stop, it's still going to move a little bit. So we'll leave that there. And then I'm going to use a very simple command. I'm going to do stop all motors. And there we go. So I'll download that, and let's give it a try and see what happens. Okay. And just like we have in the past, I want to see my sensors. So let's see, push play, and there we go. Okay, so it looks like our sensor down here, the gyro, is, there you go, gyro sensor. Gyro sensor value is 1, and that's interesting. Let's say continue and reset. Gyro sensor is 0. There we go. So it just looks like it reset it after the program completed, after it was finished, and so let's take a look at that. Sophia, can you unlock that door? Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the next challenge. We're going to click main menu and go back to the website. All right, and then click next. And so if we, hey guys, we're recording. So, okay, so then let's see here. Okay, we're going to do turn for angle part 2. Okay, great. So in this one, turn for angle part 2, there's another video. It's 1 minute and 36 seconds. All right, and it looks like it might be doing the same thing, but just turning the other direction. So let's see how that works. Okay, exactly 90 degrees in a turning over part 2. Okay, so this one wants to do exactly 90 degrees. So in this situation, again, you might want to watch this video, but it looks like it's saying, I think I already did it by putting 85 in the momentum. I think that was really what it was getting at here, because it's saying which of the following factors contributes to the overturning problem. So if I say greater than 85, then it should turn and go almost to the 90. So I don't have to download again, because I'm going to try using the same exact program again. Let's see, play. Okay, and I got it. So it looks like it probably turned more exactly to 90. So let's see here, that was easy. All right, and then right turns is probably going to be the next one. And it looks like make a 90-degree turn to the right. Okay, so that's the right turn. Let's go back to the website, click next. All right, and it looks like here we have activity right turns, and it's called less is more. So here's the thing, the gyro, if you turn the gyro to the left or counterclockwise, it's going into a positive amount. And we saw that when we saw the distance, or the gyro sensor value here change. If it's turning to the right, it's going to go at a negative value. So let's just check that out. If I change the directions of the motor, so I make that one go backwards, the right one go backwards, and the left one go forward, then that's going to make the robot turn right. And so if I download that now, so what's going to happen is the robot is going to spin forever. And the reason it's going to spin forever is that we have a wait until the gyro sensor is greater than 85. And you notice down here, right now the gyro sensor is at negative 800, 900, negative 1,000. It's never going to be greater than 85 unless it was turning in the other direction. So I'm going to stop this. I'm going to go back here, and instead, if it's going to go negative, then really what I want is negative 85, but I can't go greater than negative 85 because it's currently at 0, and that's greater than 85, or negative 85. So I'm going to say less than negative 85, because less than negative 85 would be negative 86, negative 87, okay? So that should get me what I need. And let's just double check. I'm going to click play, and there we go. And I got that badge. So let's go back to the main menu, go back to the website, and click next, and I will have gotten that badge. Oh, and it looks like we have another badge, or another achievement right after this. Activity, Gyro Lab. Okay, using the gyro sensor, we're going to program to go accurately around a square box. This is cool because we already have our right turn here, so we just are going to need to make it go forward a little bit. So let's do that. Try it. Turn for angle, gyro lap. There we go. All right, start challenge. So I'm going to do the overhead view here. We need to go forward, turn right, go forward, turn right, go forward, turn right, go forward, turn right. And you know, I think I'm just want to make it go all the way around this. And so I'm going to say that that looks like it's probably about 6 rotations. So I'm going to say go forward, put that up here at the top, and go 6 rotations. Let's say down, you know, I'm going to put this right here. Download the robot. And let's see what happens. 6 rotations. Incomplete. Oh, you never set the LED to the correct color. So apparently we have to do LEDs in this one as well. When moving straight, it needs to display the color orange, and when turning, it needs to display the color blue. And yes, we need to reset the gyro after each turn, because again, if the robot is facing, if it goes forward and turns right, then the gyro is going to say negative 90, and then it goes forward, and then you want it to turn right again. Well, it would need to say negative 180, and so it makes it easier to just reset the gyro. That way you say negative 90 again. You can try it both ways if you want. All right, so let's say under LED, touch LED, set touch LED color, and touch LED, and we need it orange. Okay, so it's going to say orange, it's going to go forward, and then when it's turning, we need to set it to blue. So touch LED color, and I think after it goes forward, I think once it starts to turn, maybe we'll set the color to blue. Yeah, there we go. Touch LED and color blue. Okay, that should be good. And then it's going to wait, and then we're going to stop all motors. And actually, I don't need this stop all motor, so let's give it a try and see what happens. Again, we're trying to figure out if that 6 rotations is enough or too much. All right, here we go. So apparently our LED, that orange is okay, not enough. Probably 7 rotations or 6. You know, I'm going to do 6.75 rotations. I wonder if that's good. All right, reset it and play. You can see our LED right there is orange. And now when it turns, it should turn to blue. Yep, turned blue. And it looks like 6.75 is decent, but it looks like it didn't turn quite enough at a 90. Still I'm facing off this direction. So I'm going to change this to 7 rotations because I think I need a little bit further. And then I'm going to change this to 88 degrees. So it'll go a little bit further. And then let's see. I know I'm going to need to do this over and over again. And I only needed to go 1 lap around, but if I wanted to do repeat forever, to just keep going in a square, I can drag this in here, highlight all of my stuff right there, and then drag it into the center of that. So you notice that it's encased by that. So it's going to say repeat forever. What's going to happen is that it's going to run this stuff, and then it's going to wait until it's turned, and then it's going to go right back to the beginning and set the color to orange again and go those 7 rotations. And so that's a real clean way of doing this, since it's just going to repeat doing the same thing over and over. All right, let's make sure this works. We'll get our achievement and move on to the next one. Looked good. Looks like it was pretty straight. Mount might be actually turning a little too much. I'm getting kind of close to this wall, but it looks like I have enough room to spare. So if I wanted to make it perfect, I'd probably change that 88 to like 86 or 87. And then it looks like 7 rotations might also be a little too much. So I might change it to like 6.8 or something. So there we go. I got that badge. So I'm going to click main menu and go back to the website and see what's next. Looks like we're getting close to finishing the sensors. So this is a code review. Go through the code, take a look at it. Let's see what they did. They reset the gyro, they made it turn, they said wait until. Okay, so this is basically what we did for the turn. And then here's a code review for forward 16.5 rotations. Wow, I don't know what challenge they were doing, but it's a little bit different, and they were changing their, yeah, so just take a look at that code review. Let's go next. Next we have another activity challenge, the Mower. So that's a 38-second video. Might want to take a look at that one. Let's see what the challenge is. It says, program the robot to erase or clear the entire surface of debris. The robot is able to move freely. However, there are 3 zones marked on the surface. When the robot enters these zones, the robot must be picked up, then placed back down, then resume going through the rest of its program. And the virtual program is picked up automatically, then placed down after a few seconds. But the thing is, we don't know how long it's been picked up, and this would actually simulate the robot hitting like mud, or you know, if you only had it turn for a second or two, you don't know if you're actually getting a 90-degree turn. So let's see, this is going to be go forward, turn right, go forward, turn right, go forward, turn right. And so actually I think what I have right now, the same code, I might just be able to add on to it. So I have here a repeat forever, which that won't work for this, but we can probably just modify it. So let's go to the Mower challenge and see what we have so far. So I'm going to click play, go overhead view here. So it looks like 7 rotations, which should get us there. Yep, okay, I'm stuck in that mud. So it's going to wait, and then it's going to turn. Okay, perfect. And then it's going to get stuck in that mud, and then it's going to go down here. And if it doesn't get stuck, it's still going to do what it needs to do. So when it goes down here, it's still going to do what it needs to do. Now, the tricky part is, so it went 1, 2, 3. So I really just want to repeat this 3 times, not forever, because then it's going to go get stuck in this mud. All right, so I need to repeat it 3 times. And see, this is just not going to work properly. I mean, it might end up working, and see, you know, it ends up working, but it's really not supposed to be like that. So let's take this repeat forever out. So we need to grab this stuff, take it out, delete that repeat forever, and let's just use repeat and say 3 times. Put it in here. And you know, we don't need these touch LED colors, so I'm going to take that out. If you don't need it, you might want to get rid of it so that it just doesn't make your code all messy. So it looks like 7 rotations was good for it's going to go up 1, and then it's going to turn, and then it's going to go 2, and then it's going to turn, and then 3, and then it's going to turn. So then we're going to go forward for like, I don't know, probably 2 rotations. And then we need to turn right. And so I'm going to copy my stuff right here. Let's see. All right, so I'm going to go forward 1, go forward, that's 2, forward, that's 3, go 2 rotations, turn, go forward, say, look, that looks like 4 maybe. Go forward, 4 rotations, and then I need to turn in the other direction. So I'll copy this stuff, and I'll reverse these motors, and then I'll make this, you got to make sure you change the right stuff, greater than 88. And then I think I'm going to go forward again for like 1 rotation, maybe 1.5 rotations. And then I'm going to turn left again, so same thing. I'm going to turn left. Oops. Nope, I just need from here to here. Copy and paste. Copy and paste is your friend. And this time, let's make another left, and then we're going to go forward. I don't know, probably 2 rotations. So I think this is really more of what was intended. I don't think we need to stop all motors or anything, so let's download that. Hit reset, and then push play and see what happens here. All right, so our first few lines are going to be repeated, so that's 1 loop. And, well, actually it has to turn. Once it turns, that's completed, that 1 loop, and this is number 2. And this will have completed the 2nd loop. Come on. There we go, number 3. And when it goes down here and turns, that'll be the repeats will be done. It's going to go forward for 2 rotations. Probably just enough to get stuck in that mud. Forward to 2 rotations, and then it's going to turn again. There we go. And it's going to go forward for, we have 4 rotations. That might be too much. No, it was good. And then a left, and then there we go. Okay, so that's probably more about what it was supposed to do. So we'll click main menu, go back to the program, or the website, click next. Okay, and come on, click next. There we go. Okay, let's upload our file. So let's go back to graphical or robot C, click save. All right, now we know we've saved our recent file. Let's go click upload artifact, choose a file. I have it saved in documents, Johnston Sensors 2. Upload artifact, and that's all there is to that. Click next. All right, so introduction to autonomous motor vehicles. All right, we are almost done here. So you're going to want to watch that. It kind of sets up what we're doing. Next, again, it talks about the robot configuration. Click next, and here we go. Forward until red. So now we're going to be using the color sensor. So we want to go forward until red. It's basically the same thing, right? We're going to set the motor. We're going to wait till the color sensor sees red, and then we're going to have it stop. So on virtual worlds, forward our mower, forward until red. Okay, so it needs to see red. All right, so let's go back to the program. I don't need hardly any of that, so I'm going to delete that. I don't need this repeat anymore, but you know what? I'm going to save this stuff right here and then delete this. You can also delete all the code and start over if you want. Sometimes that's easier. I don't want forward because I want it to go all the way until it hits the red. If it goes 7, then it's just going to go 7. I don't need the gyro anymore. And you know what? I can leave these right here. I can say set motor, or I could do set multiple motors, but I'm going to do this. And you know, I'm going to make them go a little bit faster because I'm impatient. Okay, 80. All right, and let's see. All right, wait until, instead of the gyro, I'm going to say color detector, color name is equal to red. And at that point, I want to stop all motors. So stop all motors. Download it, and let's see what happens. Play. And let's go down here. It should go, and boom, got it. Easy peasy. All right, try it forward until color. Point A. Let's go back to the website and see if that's the one we're going to be doing next. So I'm going to click next. Achievement here, stop and go challenge. Okay, so you can do this other one right here, and the website, the lesson talks about it a little bit, but we're just going to go straight to stop and go. Here we go. Stop and go. Stop and go traffic. Made a robot obey a single traffic signal in the middle mini challenge. So we'll say start challenge, and let's just play that code and see what it does. So say play here. Okay, so it went and it stopped when it saw the red, but let's go back to the website and see what the challenge actually was supposed to be. Make the robot, make sure the robot has a color sensor. Okay, it does. The robot should only stop when the color sensor detects the red object. Well, that's what we did. Having the color sensor face down. Okay, so it's supposed to go forward and make sure the robot's color sensor placed in the distance from that object. Next, program the robot move forward continuously. The robot should stop when the color sensor detects the red object. Well, that's what it did. It stopped when it detected, oh, the red object.
I'm going to leave you this. Just because I know that you've already done it, but just, yeah, so I can put them in the system.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Play. Should stop when it sees the red object. So that's frustrating. Why is it doing that? All right. So now it's green. Probably it needs to do something else. Let me click home here. It's saying red light, green light, go. So that doesn't give you very much detail. I'm thinking it needs to go forward when it turns green. That would make sense anyway. So let's just try that. All right, so we're gonna wait until it's red and then stop all motors, and we'll wait until it's green. Color, because it changed green. Color detector, get color name equals to green, and then I'm gonna copy and paste this stuff and paste. And let's just see what happens there. So it's gonna go forward and fall off the cliff, obviously. I probably want it to go backwards, but let's just see what happens. All right. Okay, it stopped. Now it should turn green and then continue going. Okay, incomplete. Probably because it needs to go backwards, at least it would make sense. Download. And I'm not sure why those instructions aren't very clear, so sorry about that, but let's see what happens. Green. Okay. Well, I'm going to stop the video here. I'm going to come back and get you some more information, okay? So be looking for that part 3. Okay, I figured it out. What you need to do is go to the, let's go back to this. Okay, what I did was I went to main menu, and right here it says it needs to change to green, and then the robot should move forward 1 wheel rotation. So we pretty much had the program. All I had to do was say stop all motors and then wait until it was green and then forward 1 rotation. and then I downloaded that and started the challenge. It should go like this. It goes forward, and then it goes 1 wheel rotation once it turns green. Once it turns green, and then it goes what's supposed to. Well, that's interesting. Huh. Color green. That's really, really crazy. So this is not working too great. Let's reset that and try again. So somehow, for some reason, it got stuck. It should change green. Well, that's odd. Let me download the robot, see what happens. Maybe the code changed somehow. Try again. Play. Okay. Change green. And somehow it timed out. Okay, that's weird. Let's figure this out. Stop all motors. Get color name. Color detector is equal to green. Forward 1 rotation. Okay. It did change to green. Let's try this again. CS42. Now it's 2. Color hue should change. There we go. I messed around with the speed, so maybe that's it. So sometimes this is just trial and error. There it goes. Okay, so it has something to do with the speed, maybe the position of the robot where the color sensor was. So it should work. All right, go back to main menu, and then we're going to go to the website, click next, and oh, we have another badge we have to do. Watching the road. Forward to stop line challenge. All right, so in this one, we're going to use the color sensor should be facing down. Let's double check that. So forward to stop line. Please use the Clawbot line tracking. So when I say start challenge, it's going to say, hey, you're not using the robot that you need to use, because you need to use the one where the sensor is pointed down. Line tracking. Okay, so right now we can see the color hue is at 213 or something. Same thing, we're doing the exact same thing except for we're waiting until the color is yellow. So color yellow and then stop all motors. And delete this one, download it, and push play. And it should hit that yellow line and stop. Okay, got that one. Now, you got to do this one from point B as well. So point B. And the thing about that is I don't think there's a color black in here. So what we actually need to do is say color detector, get color grayscale. And we're going to say it has to be a value. We'll say greater than, say, 100. Okay, and we can watch the values in that debugger window for the sensors. So let's see, let's look above, click play. Oh, so it was already greater than 100. So let's say less than 100. So it looks like the greater the value, the more or the lighter the color. Let's try again. Okay, there we go. So the value is right now is 0. So, or just hadn't registered yet. For some reason, that debugger window wasn't working. So that's it right there. And at this point, the traffic lights challenge, start challenge. Again, it's going to say switch because we need the one that has the sensor in front of it. This one, I'm going to do Control Z to undo some of the changes I've made. So I'm going to wait until the color is green. So this one, color red. Okay, so this should work the same. It's going to go forward, it's going to stop when it's red, it's going to stop all the motors, then it's going to wait till the color is green, and then we want it to start again. And we just want this to repeat, so we'll say repeat forever. Bring all this stuff down into the repeat, download the robot to the robot, and let's try it. So it's going to go until it sees the red, it stops, and then it's going to change green, and it should, yep, go again. It's going to stop. It should change green, go again. And now I don't know if it wants us to repeat this 3 times. Oh, I think it might be going too fast. I probably want to slow it down. All right, so it got stuck there. Now it's not seeing green because it wasn't actually pointed in the right direction. So I might change this to 50, but at this point you should have everything that you need, and I'm out of time to record. You should have everything that you need to finish the sensors badge. Okay? All right, have a good one.